Assalamu alaikum and welcome to another episode of Echotalks. I'm Muhammad Azam Khan, Echowala, and this is the space where we talk about real topics that can truly change your life, from technology to mindset and personal growth. Today's topic is something that so many of us struggle with, especially in a world where saying yes feels easier than saying no. The topic is how to set boundaries in relationships and stay true to yourself. Whether it's with friends, family, co-workers, or even online, healthy boundaries are essential for self-respect, emotional peace, and strong relationships. But for many people, setting them can feel uncomfortable, selfish, or even guilt inducing. To help us explore this important subject, we have ChatGPT as our special guest here to share psychological insights and practical steps for setting boundaries with confidence and kindness. So let's dive in and learn how to protect your peace while staying true to who you are. Hello, ChatGPT. Welcome back to Eco Talks. It's always a pleasure having you with us for these deep, meaningful conversations.
Hey there, it's always a pleasure to be here and dive into these conversations with you. I'm excited for today's chat. What's on your mind today?
Today, we are talking about something that lies at the heart of emotional well being boundaries. We often hear that boundaries are important, but many people don't really understand what they mean or how to set them without hurting others.
Absolutely, it's such an important topic. Boundaries really help us maintain our emotional health and relationships, and it is definitely possible to set them in a compassionate way. So I'm excited to explore that with you.
Okay, ChatGPT, in simple words, what exactly are boundaries in relationships?
In simple terms, boundaries are like guidelines or limits that we set to protect our own well-being and to make sure that our relationships are healthy and respectful. They help us communicate what we need and what we're comfortable with, and they help others understand how to treat us kindly.
Okay, so how do so many people find it difficult to set boundaries, especially with loved ones?
Yeah, it's a common challenge. A lot of times people worry about disappointing others or causing conflict, especially with people they care about. There's also a fear of being seen as selfish or rude. But the truth is, boundaries are actually a form of self respect and respect for others too. It just takes a bit of practice and confidence.
Okay, can you share one simple example of what a healthy boundary looks like in everyday life?
Absolutely. A simple example might be setting a boundary around your personal time. For instance, letting your friends or family know that you're not available to answer work emails after a certain time in the evening. It helps you protect your downtime and also sets clear expectations. And that's a healthy boundary.
Hmm. Okay, what are the different types of boundaries, emotional, physical, digital, or time related, and why are all of them important?
Yeah, there are definitely different types. Emotional boundaries help protect your feelings and mental health. Physical boundaries deal with personal space and touch. Digital boundaries manage your online presence and communication. And time boundaries are all about how you allocate your time. Each type is important because it helps create a balanced and respectful relationship with yourself and with others. It all adds up to a healthier, more comfortable life.
Okay, ChatGPT, can you tell that how can someone recognize when their boundaries are being crossed?
Absolutely. Usually, you can tell when your boundaries are being crossed by paying attention to how you feel. You might feel uncomfortable, anxious, resentful, or even angry. Sometimes it's a gut feeling that something isn't right. It's also a signal if you notice that you're feeling drained or that your needs aren't being respected. Listening to these feelings is key.
And why do people often feel guilty or selfish when they start saying no?
Yeah, that's a really common feeling. Often people are taught to prioritize others' needs over their own, or they worry about letting others down. There's also a fear of being perceived as unkind or unhelpful. But the truth is that setting boundaries is actually a healthy and self respecting thing to do, and it benefits everyone in the long run.
Okay, can you tell me that how can we set boundaries while still being kind and respectful toward others?
Absolutely. The key is to communicate clearly and kindly. You can be honest about your needs and use I statements like saying, I need some time to myself in the evenings, instead of making it about the other person. Also, you can show appreciation and empathy, letting them know that you value them and that this boundary is about taking care of yourself, not about rejecting them. It's all about kindness and clarity.
Okay, so how can we set boundaries while still being kind and respectful toward others?
A great approach is to be clear and direct, but also compassionate. You can express your boundary in a gentle way, acknowledge the other person's feelings, and reassure them that you still care about them. And remember, it's all about mutual respect. So a little empathy goes a long way.
Okay, so what's the link between self-worth and the ability to maintain boundaries?
They're definitely closely connected. When we have a strong sense of self worth, we feel more deserving of respect and are more comfortable setting boundaries. On the flip side, when we struggle with self worth, we might feel guilty or hesitant to assert our boundaries. So, building self worth really empowers us to protect our own needs and well being.
So how can someone communicate their boundaries clearly, especially in close or sensitive relationships like family or romantic partners?
It definitely requires a bit of thought and care. The key is to be open and honest, but also gentle. You can choose a good time to talk, express your feelings using I statements, and explain why the boundary is important for you. And it's always helpful to reassure the other person that your intention is to strengthen the relationship, not to create distance.
So how can someone communicate their boundaries clearly, especially in close or sensitive relationships like family or romantic partners?
I think a great approach is to have a calm and honest conversation at a good moment and just share your feelings and needs in a very clear yet compassionate way. And letting them know that this boundary is really about taking care of yourself and ultimately strengthening the relationship can go a long way.
Hmm. And what are some warning signs of unhealthy or one-sided relationships where boundaries are ignored?
Yeah, some warning signs can include feeling consistently drained, feeling like your needs or feelings are dismissed, or that you're the only one making sacrifices. Um, Also, if you notice a lack of respect for your boundaries, or if there's a lot of guilt tripping or manipulation, those are definitely red flags that the relationship might be a bit unbalanced.
And how can boundaries actually strengthen relationships instead of creating distance?
I love that question. Boundaries actually create a foundation of trust and respect. When both people know and understand each other's limits, it actually reduces misunderstandings and resentment. It allows for more genuine and healthy interactions because everyone feels safe and valued. So, in the long run, boundaries really do strengthen relationships.
Hmm. And what role does self-awareness and emotional intelligence play in setting healthy boundaries?
They play a huge role. Self awareness helps you understand your own needs, limits, and triggers, which is essential for setting boundaries that truly serve you. And emotional intelligence helps you communicate those boundaries with empathy and understand how others might feel. Uh, Together, they help you navigate these conversations with kindness and clarity.
Okay, can you tell us that what are some practical steps people can take to start creating boundaries, even if they have never done it before?
Absolutely. A great starting point is to reflect on what you need and where you feel discomfort or stress. Um, then start small by setting a simple boundary, like saying no to a minor request that you don't feel comfortable with. Be consistent and kind, and remember it's a process, and definitely give yourself some grace as you learn.
Hmm. And what's one phrase or approach someone can use when they need to say no to anyone politely but firmly?
One simple and kind phrase could be, I appreciate you thinking of me, but I'm going to have to pass this time. It's direct, it's respectful, and it leaves no room for ambiguity. Works like a charm.
Hmm. Okay. And how can people deal with pushback or guilt when others don't respect their boundaries?
That can definitely be tough, but it's important to remember that your boundaries are valid. If you face pushback, um, stand firm and gently restate a boundary. And if you feel guilt, just remind yourself that taking care of your well-being is not selfish. It can also help to seek support from people who respect you and to reinforce your own self-worth.
Okay, and finally, can you tell that what's the most important reminder you would like to give our audience about staying true to themselves?
I think the most important reminder is that your needs and your well-being matter, and it's absolutely okay to prioritize them. Setting and maintaining boundaries is a form of self-respect and self-love, and it actually helps you show up as your best self in all your relationships. So never forget that you are worthy of that respect.
Thank you, ChatGPT, for sharing such valuable insights on how to set healthy boundaries and stay emotionally strong. Thank you very much.
You're so welcome. I'm really glad you found it helpful. It's always a pleasure to chat about these meaningful topics. If you ever need more insights or just want to talk, I'm here for you.
Okay, thank you very much to you, to my viewers and listeners for tuning into another powerful episode of Eco Talks. Remember, boundaries are not walls, they are bridge built with respect. They protect your energy, your values, and your sense of self so you can show up as your best self in every relationship. If this episode helped you reflect or learn something new, don't forget to like, comment, and share it with someone who might need to hear this today. And tell me in the comments what topic should we explore next on Eco Talks. Until next time, stay grounded, stay true, and protect your peace. Take care and Allah Hafiz.